Hi, this is Randy Finney with Right Side of the Chart, and this is a mid-session update for Friday, November 21st, 2025. I've been scrambling. I usually, rarely do I get just a post out without charts, but decided to reverse. So far, not far off the lows. Hopefully, you got that. Just to give you my thoughts, and there's too much to put in any one chart. That's why I'm going to put it in video form. So once again, I've covered reverse from short to long. It may be minutes, days. We'll see. We'll see how today pans out. I'm going to go over all the reasons, and I wanted to reiterate again, if you're whether you're new to the site or been here for a while. Let me go here. Just got that one out. When you go to when you want updates, little stuff. I'm not going to fire off post after post and inundate your inbox or mine with a lot of small stuff. So the last update right here, this on the markets, I posted earlier today. Again, you can come in and check these. That as of this is what started to give me a little pause on the shorts. So as of about 10 at exactly when I posted this 10:45 a.m. SPY was still holding on the key support low. QQQ was a hair below, but you know me, I'm looking at Apple above everything else. I'm going to go over those right now. And everything else, man, across the board was green. The financials, like I said, the top next 6 sectors. It was only tech today, and of that, it was mainly just semis. So that's markets aren't going to crumble without that. So I don't know what this is. Anywho, that was the first heads up. Then I made a point here to let you know, of course, IBIT, because I didn't say a daily close, so I'm going to stick with it. We stopped that one out, consider 5% loss, but we're back in it now. I'm back in it. And I'm going to go over those charts right now. Before that, there was one comment that, or question, and I'm going to get to you just right. I marked up a chart, but then I have multiple accounts, swing accounts and active trading account. Those accounts are more difficult. Active trading accounts, easy to fire off trades, even to reverse. You can just a single click one trade as a reversal on interactive brokers, because if you're short a dozen contracts of NQ and you want to go long a dozen, you just enter buy 24 and it's going to immediately close the 12 short and go 12 long, whatever your number is. And whereas other brokers, you got to sell, cover the first short, buy to cover, and then turn around and enter a new long order. Much more cumbersome. And then the other accounts, I have individual stocks, all that. So where is it? All right. Somebody asked, let me just move to this real quick. Somebody asked me about GF. Is it still too late? This is GF. I screenshotted this for you, but I've just been busy. I was too busy to sit there and type up any thoughts and words in a post. GF has positive divergence. Yeah, I think we milked the most of the meat off the bone. I've been out of this one for a little while. It hit, I believe, all the near-term targets I gave you. This is a 2-hour chart, 60-minute. Again, that was, when did I do that? About 40 minutes ago. I think it's moved since then. I don't know. Let me just get to that real quick, and I'll move on. Let me put this back. No, there it is. There's the, so whatever. If it's coming off support right here, minor support, but positive bullish divergence. The whole reason for shorting, besides the parabolic move and the undone thing. So, all in all, it was good so far for about a 20% drop. And no, to answer your question, I think we've sheared most of the meat off that bone. I'll let you know if I decide to get back in, and feel free to bump me for an update later. Okay, now back to everything else. Let's go in the order I just threw out to you. Here's what I'm liking. Well, first of all, it all starts with the market. Let's start there. NASDAQ 100 still in close enough proximity. And as I said, doesn't matter if NASDAQ dipped below because the S&P's been defending that October low like a world champ, as has NVIDIA continued, little brief intercession dip back above. Boom. To me, that's like I'm watching these things. They're not Apple, second largest. Right there, you have the 2 largest ones. The ones that have broken down, and I've had alerts going off like crazy today. Microsoft, let's talk about that. Yesterday hit the 200 exponential. Today it's splitting the crosshairs closer to the 200 simple. Microsoft has just dropped in a matter of a couple weeks. Again, Until recently, one of the most beloved stocks in the entire world. People couldn't get enough of it. It's down 15% to its 200-day moving averages. Sorry, guys, I've got to go long here. If the markets flip, turn around, break the lows, yeah, I'll reposition quickly. And don't try to follow me. I've always said this is not a follow me site. I do my best to get things out to you right away, which I did on that post. We were still, we're starting to move now, but we're just coming off the lows when I got that out to you. Here's Amazon. Yes, Amazon was one of the few that broke the blue lines I gave you. But again, yesterday, as I highlighted, you have price support here. You have the 200. Just yesterday bounced off the 200 exponential. Today it came close enough to that 200 simple. Again, Amazon down 17% in a bull market. Sorry, guys, I'm long. I'm all in for the moment. And if it changes, I'll let you know. But again, you do you. You have to replicate these charts. You have to watch these key levels. And when the VIX is elevated, you have to move fast. Yes, that means I closed out and reversed the VIX too to be bullish the stock market. But let me give you where the juice is right now. Okay, so the whole thing comes together. This market can implode because of the whole margin debt bubble. If Bitcoin and some of these high flyers continue to go down much more, I think it'll be a vicious cycle like I talked about. Selling will beget more selling, and that triggers more margin calls, which then brings the VIX higher. Then the brokers start putting out notices that they're going to raise margin requirements. All that can happen today. It can happen next week or months from now. I don't know. All I can tell you is the right here and now. Like I said, it's, as an active trader, I'm going to do what it takes to, make money when I see an opportunity or protect profits. So, today we've already come off the lows. SPY is tested. Let me get to, before I get into the trade ideas, let me just show you the financials and everything else. So this is, there's 11 sectors in the S&P 500. Tech is the largest by far. Last I updated was a 33%, massive 1/3 weighting out of 11 sectors. But the others, the top ones count. The second largest is about 14% is the financials. Like I said, it's just hanging in there like a world champ. I looked around today. I'm not seeing any cracks really in the financials, and it's holding support. Now, look, again, guys, we could dump into the close head. We could pull a little reversal like NVIDIA had yesterday, and I will be short or out of those longs or short again before I can get a post out to you. So you have to watch that. Watch these levels. But here's the third largest sector, consumer discretionary. Test of the 200s, price support. Again, if you ask me where I think the market's going to be 6 months, a year from now, down a lot. Could be down a lot next week. Could be down a lot today if they crap out. If margin calls start to hit and there's a lot of longs that want out of this market, then we're going to go down lower. So there's the rest. The rest of the sectors don't matter. It doesn't matter what utilities do in these lower sectors because they make up a 2-3% weighting. So let's get to the ones that could run here. I gave you 5 individual trade ideas. And this is what I do all day when I'm not doing these videos and getting posts out to you or actively trading. I'm looking at charts over and over again. This is Trade Desk. This is not just a support, it's a target I've had for a long time. I wasn't short it coming into today, but I've covered this one quite a bit in the past. This was a divergent high. That was a divergent high. That was a divergent high. That was a divergent high. And that was a divergent high. This is my trading style. Sell these. That was even, no, I didn't have it marked yet. I think it was. And there. And you can see the trend line breaks. Now, what do we have here? Everything in reverse. Just like this was a divergent low. That's positive divergence. You have 2 equal lows there with higher lows on the indicators. And that was a catalyst for that rally. We're at support with positive, aka bullish divergence, and pretty damn good support at that. Look. If we've started a bear market, if the highs we put in a couple weeks ago in the and there's a lot of evidence I think that says it could be, time will tell, then these guys are going a whole lot lower. These are the kind of bubble-ish stocks, a lot of these that I'm throwing out to you now. So as I put in that post earlier today, they are 110% catch a falling knife trades. If you not comfortable with that, it's not your cup of tea. There's no signs of a reversal yet. No buy signals. On the contrary, they're in vicious downtrends. Don't, stay away from them. Coinbase, again, there are a lot of these, not all, but a lot are related to what crypto will do in Bitcoin. But there's Coinbase down, and ultimately it's going lower, I believe, but it's down 50%. So, when I was a broker, we used to joke around. This is pre-boiler room days. I always worked for legitimate firms, Merrill Lynch, and then bank broker and programs. But some of the other brokers would joke around. You wouldn't say this to your client, but they would say, like the old school guys, oh, if you loved it at 400, if you liked it at 400, you got to love it at 200, that kind of thing. Don't be sore, buy more. Well, honestly, if you loved this stock or liked it, up here, you're buying it at half the price it was trading at just a couple months ago. And it may go lower. This chart, a lot of these charts are very toppy. This is a bigger divergent high. And, a lot of these are the, bubble. Crypto is a bubble. It's a nothing, really. There's no value. There's no earnings. One day, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin's gone and it's just, doesn't exist anymore. But I don't care. That's fundamentals. I'm going to trade the charts. And again, this thing can keep going through. You can see this is the next support. There's a big old gap. So they either come in here and buy this gap or they take it out. That's the next support. So my stop, I don't even know right now, guys. My targets and stops. You can see if we get a reversal, this would be my minimum target. And I will let you know before the end of the day how I feel on these guys. But I think this one will bounce back here to that level. That's and that's a minimum target. Minimum would be right here, 279 and change. In the 200s, that's about 19 to 25% pop. What did I do? Did I give you TTD? And again, it would take me half an hour or more, an hour actually, to mark up just these charts. TTD, if they come in and we get a decent rally, even if it's just a bear market short covering rally in crypto, a lot of these guys can go up. That's 50% right there. And first stop right here. If we just get a little bounce, goes up to 42.88, that's going to be about 11% pop. And then if we get some traction and the market doesn't crater this week or next or in the next few weeks, especially if we can lift into December and through year end, easily this thing could do 50. That's 46% upside. But again, I don't fall in love with stocks. Bear market rallies are very enticing. You see nice charts, things fall to support. But what happens in a bear trend, you can smash through support levels like they're not even there. So again, you do you. And if your risk tolerance is low, don't buy these guys. These are falling knives. You try to catch a falling knife, you often get cut. You can lose a few fingers or more. Also, to adjust your position size. I didn't go all in on these guys either. I took enough because if they're either going to pan out or not, and I'll throw them away if they don't work either today or next week. Probably next week again, unless everything starts breaking down hard today and into the close. TTD, did I do coin? I have them written down here on my notepad. Coinbase, yeah, I covered. And then HIVE, another one I like. HIVE is at this 283 support, really nice support. Next support's all the way down here, but you also have a nice uptrend line that comes into play. Hit that 765 level. You can see I created that all the way back in 2022. So these aren't like hindsight levels that I'm coming in. I'll always add a level if I missed it before, but that was a key level before we even got there. It would have probably been a price target I had on a long trade there. That's why I had it. And now it's come down to this level I've had here since February of 2024. And so we hit, and look at that, triple support, guys. 283. Uptrend line, 200-day moving average. Okay, hard stop. That's it. And, not to mention that to get there, this stock has dropped 65%. To say that it's oversold, is an understatement. But guess what, guys? In a bear market, oversold can and often does become more oversold. So if you're only buying for that, that's not me. I will buy oversold is just one factor, condition when I see that. So there it is. And, these guys are probably heavily shorted. And so if you want a bounce target, I'll give you a minimum right here. Minimum 350, that's going to give, if hit, I'm going to get about 27%. Next target, 69.70, and third would be there. Like I said, right now I'm not looking out that far. I mean, I see that, and I'm willing to, if everything in the market, equity markets and crypto cooperates, I'll sit tight. This is kind of a, I have a entry plan right now, but I don't have a specific exit point because the markets are walking the line at this point. They hold the line and things firm up. Yeah, I'm going to probably hold up, for some deeper targets there. Also took Mara, M-A-R-A. Again, these are levels that I've been watching and waiting for. If we got there, created this line back in 2021. I might have just tweaked it ever so slightly now, but this is it's a key level support. That's all I can tell you. And my next support is all the way down here. So going down through, I'll make a decision. I didn't load up, so I have room to add if these guys want to go down, but I'm kind of, you know me, I'm very minute by minute analyzing the charts, and I may change my tune. I might throw these away in a minute's notice. But if it bounces, I'll put a minimum target. It's minor resistance right there. It's going to be 23%. And again, if we can get a reversal and some buying coming into Bitcoin, a little short covering, you're looking at about a 50% pop on this one. RIOT. I had to scratching things down as fast as I could to get those other trades out to you. This is the other one I took here. RIOT, 1250 support, 200-day moving average. Just showing you why this line exists. It's a line I created back on July of 2025. And so that's it. So I've been bearish and short a lot of the crypto stuff until recently. It started going long. Gave you that trade the other day, threw it out there on a 60-minute chart. We took a little 5% loss, but then I made a point this morning when I gave you that one to give you the next levels on the daily chart. I added one more line since. So this morning I told you this would be next support. Then this, I added a line right here, a support level at 43.28. So I look at all time frames. Look at the 60-minute chart, and that one's already done. So we'll move on, take that away because it's no longer that trade. Move that one to the completed trade category. And some of you might have given a little more room. A lot of times I'll even put the suggested stop to be based on a daily close. You don't get these intraday cuts. And again, that 60-minute was one time frame. The daily is more significant. That's a big old gap right there. And then this is really, really good support. And I just let me just measure that. It's going to be close to the stop I gave you because that profit, that's 21% profit if T3 is hit. And it's going to be about a 7% stop would be right about where this support zone comes in. This is a support zone. And it's a really good zone. If Bitcoin gets down here, I will most likely be going pretty aggressively long on it. So whether or not I ride down what I have in now, it'll depend on what the charts do today. Equity markets as well, because to me, again, you can have the best looking chart. This is why I've always said great stocks like Apple and Nvidia go down in bear markets, get taken down big. It's inflows and outflows to the market. And margin calls, when the final top comes and a margin bubble bursts, support level after support level after support level will get busted through. Sometimes you get a little tradable bounce just as it looks and smells and starts to feel really good to the bulls. That's when just like what happened in Nvidia yesterday and the market. It's a great example. That's when boom, hammer down comes and the next wave of selling. So hopefully you understand what I'm saying is it's being nimble, flexible, not being married to any one thing. This is what I'm looking at now, and if anything changes, I'll let you know. All right, this has been Randy Finney with Right Side of the Chart. Have a great day.